Drinking Ace of Spade out of plastic cup. I'm on the conference call while I'm sacking up. You see these thigh pads, nigga, clap it up. Clap it up. I'm on the way to the bank and I'm cracking up. That because we rich, 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 yeah, rich, rich, yeah, rich, rich,
Okay, so boom. All right, Ratchet Wizdom audience. So last week, y'all saw us get into our sex conversation, right?
Which was lit.
Which was very lit, very funny, very entertaining.
Somebody got mad, right?
Somebody
got upset, yeah.
Well, let's not say what her feelings were.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Let's not say what her feelings
say mad.
were. We don't know how
Shout
she
out
was
to her.
feeling.
Shout out to her.
She responded.
Yeah, we brought up a particular clip, and Mrs. M.H. Sexpert is responsible for the clip that we addressed, and she basically had some follow-up dialogue for us because she felt like we kind of had a laugh at her expense, and you know, she had some different feelings and just a whole nother point of view about what we were discussing.
Right. And if you are unfamiliar with the topic, it was when we discussed the use of violence when we're referring to sex with women or beating the pussy.
Just dirty
language. Play the clip.
Why are you trying to beat me up? Why are you trying to murder me? I want to be very, very clear. The language by which we talk about sex in Black communities is disturbing.
And it's always so...
Stop saying Black community.
Well, that's what she said. That's what she said. I'm just saying what she said. She said that all of the languages, I'ma beat the pussy up, I'ma shoot the club up, blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah.
society.
Right.
She was basically saying, she was saying that
sex sound way too violent, or penetrating the vagina sound way
But
too
y'all
violent.
like that violent shit, you know?
But she was acting like it was a problem in the Black community when white girls be
I
like,
think
fuck my brains out,
Yeah.
choke me to death. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or
that's,
Asian or Latino. Everybody. Anybody.
It's a part of the culture. Sex.
Absolutely. So
I call that porn culture. I say that's porn culture.
I don't think that it's just black and white
Yeah.
in that analogy
it's
or
not
whatever.
just porn
It's literally,
culture
and it's not just porn culture either. It's absolutely like what your preference is.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling one of my friends. I was like, it's a mood. Everything is a mood.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely can be in the mood to get your brains fucked out,
Yeah.
or you can be in the mood to be like slow stroke.
That was just
I just want
probably
you to give me the slow stroke dick all night.
It make me
you
feel
know
like
what I
you
mean?
love me.
Or if you're not in the mood, you got these products.
Exactly.
Like Yummy Cummy and
what she was is she was just a very peaceful woman, and a nigga told her she was finna tear her stupid ass up, and she got she was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
They ain't like that.
Stupid ass son.
Treat me like a flower.
Don't tell my
She didn't want to
stupid
get
ass
toe up at all. Like she
Right,
was
she
on
did it.
some.
It was brand
She
new.
was
for
like,
her.
Yeah.
You wanted
put
to
my
be
smart ass
Yeah,
together.
she was a grumpy pecker.
Yeah,
Definitely
she
a grumpy
was a
pecker.
grumpy
In response to that, she reached out to us. We had some very nice dialogue. I'm so proud of her and just happy that she didn't take it personal or take a approach where she felt offended, and it opened up an opportunity for us to dialogue even further. So
Absolutely.
if y'all are down, we can call her right now.
Yeah, and just to put it out there, she is a licensed sex expert. So I know last week we had Zinzi on as an intimacy coach, but she actually has her degree. She's certified, and she is a licensed sex therapist.
Oh, that's what's up.
Sex expert in a sense.
So let's call her. Let's have this open dialogue.
Let's call her. Let's get her POV, and go
Shit,
from
we
there.
appreciate you for responding. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Definitely, because a lot of people don't do that.
Right.
What you gonna call her?
I'm gonna ask her to introduce herself.
Oh.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. So you are currently live on the Ratchet Wizdom podcast. My name is Asada.
Hey, Asada. Ooh, that's one of my favorite books. Asada Shakur, honey.
Okay.
So we already
Impressive.
know that you're
That's
a
some cool
well-read
Cool points.
and very intelligent woman. We know that for sure. But for our audience, would you mind just introducing yourself briefly?
Sure. What's up, everybody? My name is Michelle Hope. I am an unapologetic sexologist. I've been in the field for about
Uh-oh. Hello?
They may not agree with me. My intentions are all good for the hood, to be quite frank. I got into this work to help black men thrive, actually.
Okay.
Because I feel like, you know, we all need to do a lot of, but I am of the mindset, sexuality is from the womb to the tomb, honey. Every single day of your life.
Yes.
It is going to impact every area of your life. And you cannot separate race and sexuality. And because of the long history of systemic oppression and white supremacy in America, our community has been broken. And just here, and I apologize if this is not the best description of who I am, but I am here to help spread wisdom and kind of just make you think and make you talk about some things and make you like suss it out. We gonna situate it out. So was that okay?
That's awesome. It went out just a little bit, but where you are right now is perfect. So before we go further, I just want to thank you for, taking the time out, for seeing our conversation around it, for responding and just being willing to take the conversation a step further. So a couple of our co-hosts are here. And they had a couple of questions, so I'm going to let them get into it. Let me know if you can't hear them.
Okay, no problem.
Give us your name one more time. Hello?
It might be Zaki's phone.
No, it's my Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Zaki, is this your phone?
This is not my phone.
No, it's not her phone,
it's
but
the
I'm saying
Wi-Fi.
it's the
Hold on,
Wi-Fi.
here we go.
Here now.
Okay.
Okay, give us your name one more time.
Hi.
How you doing?
It's Michelle. Her name's
Hi,
Michelle.
my name's Michelle.
Michelle, I'm not gonna lie, I had prejudged you, Michelle, till you just gave your intro right then and there. And I definitely have a
It's
new
all good.
Yeah. I didn't know you was from the hood, Michelle. Because I know how they
I'm from the trailer park.
Yeah, I know how they edit shit on the internet. So you know what I'm saying? When I seen the clip from the internet, it just kind of had you looking like you was talking from the other side. But I definitely respect it. I respect your stance and everything. So I just wanted to let you know that, Michelle.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. And I'm sorry I couldn't be in studio with y'all. If I could have been, I would have been. But I just got over COVID, and I'm not really trying to make anybody else sick. And again, editing is really bad. And I want to be, because I know I can visualize who you are by your voice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if you want to have dirty talk in the bedroom, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And the reason I am saying that what I was trying to get at is that we have normalized violent conversations around sex. If you like dirty talk, I like dirty talk behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. I don't want people to refer to sex with, and I know white people be like, Daddy, suck my brains out. But that is a woman asserting that.
Yeah.
That is not constantly men saying, I'm about to beat that pussy up, bitch. I'm about to murder, shoot up the club. Now, granted, black communities have, at the hands of white people, been subjected to violence our entire existence in this country. That is how we got here, in a violent way. But what I was trying to get at is that we have made violent language around sex the norm and glorified it in a way that continues to perpetuate violence against black women. And unfortunately, what didn't get talked about in that conversation is that when our own community talks like that about black women, it makes it very easy for cops to think they can shoot Breonna Taylor in the middle of the night in her home, as innocent as she was, and get away with it. And that was my point. But the problem is that we are a community that has been so broken by white supremacy, we don't even know or understand the depths of internalized racism that we have begun to spew out onto ourselves.
Yeah.
Nah, I definitely agree with you there. Like I do feel like there are a lot of eternal issues that we go through. As far as sex, I just respectfully agree to disagree with you because we're speaking figuratively, and I understand. I mean, I know that our partners understand whether we're coming from a place of viciousness or not when we're speaking in them terms. And I wouldn't correlate the two to any type of rape or, sexual abuse type of act when we are talking dirty to our partner. You understand?
Now, you're right. Talking dirty to a partner consensually, I will agree with you. But I'm not talking about talking dirty to a partner consensually. I'm talking about motherfuckers loving Kodak motherfucking Black.
I like her.
Yeah.
Who have raped women. Who have viciousviciously abused women.
And I agree that it's a bigger conversation. It got trivialized to the small point of the dirty sex talk, but I think it's a larger conversation in the way that our music and that our culture constantly just disrespects women, and it allows other people to think that it's okay to disrespect Black women in particular, because our Black men make music that doesn't necessarily always respect us. And so and so that again is just a broader conversation and a different conversation that can't really be trivialized to that main point of just saying fuck my brains out, because
we also can't call out a brother like Kodak Black,
right,
because he's in a position to where women will make false claims against him because it's for monetary gain, or whatever the case may be.
I don't know.
So no, I'm just saying she said a specific name. I ain't want to just call this nigga out like that.
Hold on, though. I don't have it. You don't have to call him out. I will. But I want to flip the script just a little bit right now. Because America and our culture doesn't just do it to Black women. They do it to Black men, because every Black man has to have a huge dick.
True.
Every Black man should be a beast in the men's world. These are false narratives that the white man has used against us since we were brought here. They have hypersexualized us, and today we just continue to perpetuate it.
This is true.
Every Black man wants to be seen as a sex object.
Yeah.
That's my point.
That's true.
Black women are viewed as
sex sales across the board.
Right.
But slavery started this shit. They was putting y'all on the chopping block and looking at you. How big is the dick? How broad are the shoulders? You know what I mean?
You were a breeder.
Yeah.
You were a breeder.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. What would you say for those who are saying that you looking too deep into it? Like it's just too deep of a conversation, and we just talking about sex. We just talking about pleasuring, you know what I'm saying, the person who we're with, who we're intimate with. It's too deep. You too woke. You too woke.
What would she say to that?
What would you respond?
Because I want you to go deep. Right. I want sex to be deep. I want you to get deep with me in that intimate space. I just don't want it associated with violence.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can't go deep and we can't have a sexual encounter that doesn't leave me slightly sore in the morning, but I want that soreness to come.
We really don't want the slight soreness.
I want that soreness to come from that incredible backstroke you give me because you love me, you honor me, you're my king.
Yeah.
I'm your queen.
Right.
Yeah.
I think people, we should be deep about this because words become thoughts, thoughts become actions, actions become habits, and habits become lifestyle.
Right.
And I want us to have passionate, deep, dirty, raw, funky, kinky,
So,
that's what I want for all Black couples.
I mean, I feel that she coming from a source of love.
right. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds
it
like.
does.
Respect it.
Yeah.
I still like that other
unfortunately,
shit.
a lot of people are not ready for that conversation. It's so interesting because I saw somebody sent me a video of a comedian who I definitely didn't like his language. I definitely didn't like how he compared women giving blowjobs the same way they gave a blowjob to their previous dude, and him being like, the way you sucking my dick makes me want to punch you in the eye. I didn't like that. But what he was getting at was, you need to talk to me about what I like. Do you see what I'm saying? He said his points were on no cap. The points he was making was no cap.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what I want. Communicate. Ask me as a man. Don't assume I want what your last dude had.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't use the same tricks on a different dog. And I get that. And that's right. That's true. No penis, no vagina is the same. You can't do the same moves.
Some of that shit work on everybody now. Don't switch it up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But what you like and what your homeboy like, you might like me to deep throat it, while your homeboy might like me to suck his balls.
She right.
So so all I was getting at is that when we have these conversations about sex, we shouldn't publicly generalize it in a very violent way, when actually the sex between, if you and I had sex, it would be different than if you had sex with another woman. The pleasure would be different.
It would.
And that was my point. And I think that at the end of the day, what I'm trying to get at is, we have to do a better job in our community around communicating our desires, our wants, our needs, our pleasure zones, and we're not doing that. We make these assumptions. And now, to open this up to a broader conversation, I did an interview today with a woman from London, and a white woman from London, and she was talking about kink. Because we have really...
You said she was talking about what?
Kink.
Okay.
Like kink versus fetishes.
Right.
Kink, BDSM, fetishes. I have a foot fetish. So here's the difference. You can be kinky and like toes occasionally. If you have a foot fetish, you have to have feet or toes involved in your sex act to get aroused.
Right.
Now, you can, if you're just into kinky stuff, you can get aroused, and feet might enhance that erotic pleasure. But if you have a fetish for feet, right, you can't get erect or you can't get horny without feet. Okay? So now here's the bigger, and she was like, well, during this sexual liberation we're experiencing now, do you think that are we starting to shame people who like vanilla sex? What people would consider vanilla sex? And I was like, absolutely. We've become a very violent, porn-cultured society in all races. And now another thing about that interview was that was a show geared towards an urban market. So I was there to speak to an urban market. So that is why I called that out. And to that point, if you look at the statistics of violence, especially intimate partner violence, black and brown women, and black women especially, experience it at the highest rate. I mean, and if they're not the highest rate, they may be second to indigenous women, right? But again,
that's also,
let's talk about how
that's also eternal, you know what I'm saying, with the black woman being at the highest rate, because I guess niggas feel that black women, well, it ain't even just niggas, predators feel that black women are they can get off if they deal, you know what I'm saying, if it's done to a black woman, they feel like it's an easier punishment. If this done to a white woman, they know that they're never seeing the light of day again, and that's because, like I said, it's eternal, and the value of the black woman is not really, it's not valued, basically.
Right,
in
we're
America,
the most
definitely
oppressed race in this country. So,
and it's not just America; it's everywhere.
Right. You're right.
But the idea is and it's weird how we glorify the black man sexually, and globally we have fetishized the black man.
Thank you.
These big penises, and how, but here's the thing: we are so out of touch with how we have internalized racism as a community. Black men glorify themselves being hypersexualized in the eyes of other communities. Like, yeah, I got a big dick. I'm that motherfucker. I'm that dude.
Those are niggas who are used to it.
Yeah, because they're fetishizing you. They're saying, oh, I want a black man because he has a black dick, or because he has a big dick. Not all black men have big dicks.
Don't.
Definitely don't. We were just talking about how small some of their dicks are.
Actually.
Last episode.
So
I'm actually one size fits all.
Allegedly.
And honey, I hate to break it to you, but if you ask most women,
I hate to break it to you.
it ain't the size of the ship.
How old are you?
Ocean in that ocean.
Exactly. So
I'm almost 40.
Oh, okay.
So look. What would you
Might work.
What would you say to those people out there who are like, that's a big contradiction? You saying you like dirty talk, you know what I'm saying, but you don't like the violent talk. What would you say to those individuals? Because what does your dirty talk look like? This is Ratchet Wizdom. So
sure.
What does your dirty talk look like?
That's a good question.
You know what? I think that my dirty talk may look violent to somebody else. I just don't do it in public.
Is it like
just
put
saying
my
don't
smart
publicize
ass
it.
together?
She's saying keep it in private.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. That's not to shame anybody sexually. It's to say I want to honor my sexuality. In fact, in that interview, when it was live, I got really close to walking off set in a live taping because they started to ask me about my own personal sexual proclivities.
Right.
And before I went on the show, I made it very clear. Do not ask me about my own personal
Right.
proclivities. Because once again, this is how racism has duped us.
Yeah.
Did Dr. Ruth tell you how she liked it? Did Dr. Drew ever tell you how he liked to get it when he was in the bedroom? Absolutely not. They only make black and brown women do that. They only make black and brown people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that's a point.
They want to preserve the sanctity of sexuality for white people because
absolutely,
they're
the virgin, they're pure,
Virgin Mary.
But with us, it's been that ass over.
Yeah,
so let me swipe a card through that fat ass, baby.
Yep, like Venus Hottentot since those days.
I mean,
we've always been a spectacle.
2022 is every color.
But
no, but it's still black women being a spectacle because look at it. How many people want BBLs and all of these different
white
things.
women ain't getting BBLs?
Right, but they are doing it to mimic the black woman.
The black woman is doing their hair to mimic the white woman. It's like everything is bouncing off of each other.
That is the internalized racism that we're struggling with. That is why there are black men out there that are celebrities that say, I'm not really with, the midnights or the dark girls or girls who wear natural hair.
Right.
It's because we are trying to assimilate with European beauty standards.
Right.
Same reason why Instagram and TikTok have just released a report that says the top earning TikTok creators are all white.
Right.
The algorithms are built that way.
Yeah,
right.
That's facts.
And
that's
they're
facts.
following what they see black people
women
do.
Yeah, and it's mostly black women, what they see black women do.
Yeah.
I was looking at a post on your page that reminded me of that too. Like, everyone is trying to
be a black
woman.
Yeah.
Like, that's the vibe right now.
Standard.
That's the coolest
so
thing.
Michelle, how did you feel about our conversation, our dialogue? When you saw it, what were your first thoughts? What were your thoughts about the conversation that we had?
I mean, in full disclosure, because I'm gonna keep it one. I always try to keep it real.
Please do.
Because your conversation was not the only conversation I was a part of, and I felt exploited. I felt like people had been using that clip.
Right.
It did go viral.
It did.
To have content. So once again, we have exploited a black woman's professional opinion so we can get laughs out of it. So we can have something to talk about instead of uplifting and amplifying or asking, hey, what did you mean by this? Everybody wanted to have an opinion. Now that is kind of internet culture right now. In the culture of social media, which is fine. I will accept it. But I want to be very honest with you. Of course it hurt. I didn't even read none of the comments on WorldStar because I read about 4 of them and was like, nah, I ain't doing this. Not to mention a lot of the people who are close to me were DMing me and text messaging me like, oh my God, Michelle, congratulations for going viral. These comments are so out of pocket. Like the people that nobody knows that I worked in inner city schools teaching sex ed for 8 years, developing cultural, comprehensive sex education for young Black and brown youth. And nobody knows that in one classroom in Harlem, or in a couple classrooms in Harlem, I had middle schoolers disclose to me that the way they end up having their first kisses and first sexual experiences are violent. People don't know that I have worked with BLM organizations to teach sex ed to youth in various inner cities, and the type of sexual assault that I have heard from, not just by the girls, but by the boys. Because I'm not about to sit here and say that Black men are bad and Black men are the problem. We are all the problem, right? We don't talk about sexual assault experienced by Black men, oftentimes at the hands of older Black women, right? I worked at Spofford, which is the equivalent of Rikers for under 18. So I live in New York, and when they after the Khalif Brower case, they took all the under 18 inmates off of Rikers, and they put them at this place called Spofford. I worked at Spofford for 6 months teaching sex ed to justice-involved youth. And I was in the jail. And it's run just like Rikers. You are in jail with these young people. And I had multiple students who were under 18 who had children with women who are over 20.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you see that a lot.
I had one student who was 17 and had a 3-year-old about to be 4, and the baby mama was 22. That 22-year-old wasn't in jail for statutory rape. Right. And this young man looked at me and said, I know what you're thinking, but I wasn't raped. I've been fucking older women for a long time before that. Listen, baby boy, you had 3 pubic hairs and conceived a child at 13. But this is what I'm talking about with language and how we have normalized violence around sexuality.
And how children interpret it, because children are watching and then they grow up to mimic these behaviors. So I understand exactly what you mean, and I think that consistently around our pod that we understand that there's a time and a place for things. You know, we were having a conversation regarding sex and just a lot of different things, and we did want to bring up your clip, not really to sensationalize it, but just to, you know, open up our conversation even further. So, you know, again, we're really grateful that you were down to come and talk to us a little further and just kind of expound on what that clip was about, what what your stance is, and just to offer a little bit more education, because our podcast is Ratchet Wizdom. We love to have fun, but we also are about educating, dispelling myths, and just, offering knowledge to our community, but in a fun, non-intimidating kind of way.
For sure.
Yeah.
And listen, me too, because guess what? Our community has experienced so much trauma and so much pain. Like, if you ever been to one of my lectures, I use a lot of humor because we have to laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah.
Because we really have gone through it.
Yeah.
So
we do. And still going through it.
There were things that happened behind, like BTS, that people don't know about that happened on that set that really made me uncomfortable from the moment I got there. So by the time I had gotten into the seat, like 5 hosts with 1 expert, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Not informing,
especially 5 that like to get beat down.
Right.
I have a question though.
And not disclosing that it was going to be live.
Yeah.
Before I got there.
Oh, you didn't know it was live?
You didn't know.
Nope.
Wow.
And I feel like in that in itself was Black people once again exploiting a Black woman.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I didn't. There wasn't any real monetary gain there.
Right.
They listen. I have a master's degree. I worked in social services. I have been homeless. I was a stripper for 7 years before I went to college. I've paid my debt to society, but I will continue to show up on every opportunity I can, every platform I can, because I love my community.
For sure.
I love my people. And even if that means I got to take an L and I'm the butt of someone's jokes, somebody's going to hear that and feel validated.
Right. Yeah, sure.
And listen, this is my cross to bear, and God gave me a strong enough back to carry this cross.
Mm-hmm.
So I will continue to do that.
Right.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you for letting me
absolutely
come and have this conversation. And I hope the next time I'm in Atlanta, I can come in studio and meet all of you.
Please.
Yeah, that would be amazing, Michelle. Thank you so much for coming on. And I was looking at your Instagram. You have a couple of, you said you're an author. Where can we find your books? What's the name of the book? And how can we educate ourselves further?
Okay, a couple things. One, sure, go get the book, but it is for youth. It's called A Girl's Guide to Sex Education, and it's written for 10 to 15-year-olds. However, I have had a lot of adults buy it, and they were like, oh, I learned things nobody taught me when I was younger. Mm-hmm. 2, exploitative. It was a buyout. I do not make any money when people buy that book, but I'm not going to tell people not to get it. Right. I don't make any. That book, I made $3,000 to write that book.
Okay.
Like, I don't get any residuals off that, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't care about that because I'm not. While yes, I need to eat, I need to live. We should pay black people, brown people for their labor.
Yes.
I really, truly am in this to educate and to uplift and to affirm.
For sure.
And yeah.
Yeah, well, write you another one that you can monetize off of as well in the meantime, between time.
You know what? All I ask is that people continue to follow, continue to watch. But I do, like, my Instagram is not as exciting or salacious as people think it is. Because, again, I was a dancer for 7 years. I ain't going to put my titties and ass out there for free, okay?
Okay.
You ain't getting all this jiggle, honey. You running my coin.
Check your DM.
You know what I'm saying?
Where'd you get that puppet from?
The people want to know. Where's the puppet purchased?
I'm not even out here. As you know, you can see, I don't put the Cash App. I don't even have a Cash App. I don't do Cash App. I'm not looking for people to send me money.
Yeah.
Donate to your local. Donate to a local organization that does sex positive work, right? Okay. If you're a parent, you ain't even got to donate. Call your school where your child goes to school and say, what's the sex education plan for this school? Because what I really want people to do is mobilize around passing legislation that gets young people comprehensive sex education that will affirm them, that will give them the skills, the knowledge, and the tools they need to have a healthy sex life as adults, that gets them the access. We got abortion rights. Listen, abortion is going to go away. So our next line of defense has to be sex education. True. And Cory Booker has introduced a bill called the REA Act, which is the Real Education and Access for Healthy Youth Act. I may be messing that up, but I think that's the acronym. We need to start looking to and we're in an election year. We need to start looking at the people we are going to vote into Congress and calling them and saying, how do you feel about sex ed? What's your stance on this? What's your stance on reproductive justice, right? Because all of these states that, like Texas, Mississippi, if you really look at the numbers, that's going to hit black and brown communities the hardest. And we are going to be the most impacted. And that is why I do what I do, right? I want to be very honest with you. I have bad credit. I will probably die. Thank you, student loans, for that. But I will probably die poor. But if I can do my part.
You're only 40. You ain't finna die poor.
Honey, when you got a credit score that's as red as mine, okay? They red like red bottom.
Yeah.
All right? And I would rather buy red bottoms than pay for my student loan.
That's a fact.
You just ain't ran across the right one yet. You ain't got to die like that, baby.
But I'm just saying, my point is, I just want to uplift my community one sexuality conversation at a time.
So look, I think we need to have like a part 2 of this conversation. You know, we appreciate you for calling in and having this open dialogue. But I think we need to do this again. You know, if you open to it, whether or not that's, you know, us going to New York or you coming here and we're working something out, I think we need to go ahead and set that up.
I would love that. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to. First of all, I don't know where Decatur is. I am not well
East Side. It's real East Side shit going on.
Listen, I know where Hughes is. I know where Magic City is.
It ain't far from Magic.
Yeah, we ain't too far.
You said Panola?
No, Coca-Cola. Like
wow, Coca-Cola.
Okay. She knows the tourist attractions. That's okay, Michelle. We're going to give you a taste of the real A.
Yeah, we about 20 minutes from Magic.
Next time you come today, just tap in, man. We give you a real tour.
Yeah.
From the locals.
We're gonna go ahead and keep your contact information, Michelle. We definitely appreciate your time.
Yeah, we have a newfound respect for your opinion.
Absolutely.
We
definitely.
didn't get it at first.
No, it's fine. Because the last time, and somebody told me, because the last time I came to Atlanta, I had to go to Magic City by myself.
No, we ain't gonna let you do that. We ain't gonna let you do that.
Nayo was just talking. He was just at Magic City.
Yeah. Nayo was just that nigga was just taking. He was just taking the shit up in Magic City, man.
So we would definitely not let you go by yourself.
Yeah.
We way too comfortable in there.
Look, yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. But I'm going to tell you, as a former stripper, and as somebody that lived in New York 9 years, y'all might have Magic City, but you never had stars. So until you understand,
is that in New York?
Stars.
Is that Wyoming?
And it is closed.
They're not even getting all the way naked in there.
No, they not hitting on nothing for Atlanta.
It didn't matter. The last couple of years,
she said it didn't matter.
Somehow my titties came out. I don't know how.
Are we talking about a titty bar?
Yeah.
Now my titties came out. That's because somebody pulled the motherfuckers out.
Well, when we come to New York, you take us to y'all best work, and vice versa when you get to Atlanta. And you'll see the difference.
All right. I mean, listen, honey, Magic City was heaven on earth. But I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna check in. Y'all got my information. Thank you so much for just
Thank you,
Michelle,
and allowing me the opportunity. I appreciate y'all.
All right. Tap in soon.
All right, Michelle.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Ratchet Wizdom.
Shout out to Michelle, the sexpert.
Absolutely.
You guys can follow her. We'll throw her information down at the bottom. MH Sexpert. This is a licensed, unapologetic sexologist.
Michelle, so for the record, she doesn't mind getting it beat in, getting her back broke. It's just
privately.
It's
private. Yeah, you gotta respect that. You gotta respect that.
Absolutely.
Hey, but Michelle, when you come back down, when you come to Atlanta, Magic City is on us.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know why she
We about to take Michelle up through there.
For you,
definitely taking Michelle up through there.
Definitely. You will surely take Michelle up through there.
Yoski might be in your DM, Michelle.
He already in it. He already.
He said he's going to.
Man, y'all know me better than that, man.
Okay.
Hey, Ratchet Wizdom, we out. I got pissed like a motherfucker.
Really?
Both of y'all.
Really? Y'all
How you gonna cut him off?
Nah, yo, that's rude.